It was the summer of 2011. I was 13 years old. Life was good. Social media hadn't taken over the world yet, and kids still knew how to be kids. It was July, my birthday month. My birthday had just passed a few days earlier. I vividly remember that because when I had a couple friends over, we ate some of the leftover ice cream cake in the yard. My family wasn't home. It was a sunny day. I was allowed to have my friends Kyle and Zook over. We used to call him Zook, which was a short nickname for his last name. When home alone, I was supposed to not leave the property, but I could have my friends over as long as we hung out in the house or the backyard. We grew up in a basic Westchester, New York suburban neighborhood. Zook and Kyle both rode their bikes to my house. It was so nice out that instead of playing video games inside or anything like that, we played sports in the backyard. Our family home in Westchester, that my parents still live in to this day, has a super big backyard. It was perfect for games like baseball and soccer. Sometimes we'd roughhouse and wrestle in the backyard, and when we had an odd number of people, we would have the others referee. Today, we were play wrestling. We were mimicking the WWE, taking on roles of actual wrestlers at the time. And we would do this corny thing where whichever wrestler we were pretending to be, we'd use their specific moves and fighting styles. So the backyard is a unique shape. It has an awning right by the back door with a bunch of patio furniture underneath. Then there's 2 steps down to the grass area that starts narrow but opens up wider the further into the yard you go. Westchester is pretty known for having houses like this. While we were playing, I looked up at one of the upstairs bedroom windows, and despite the glare on the glass from the sun, I saw someone standing at the window of my parents' bedroom looking out to the yard. Remember, I said my family wasn't meant to be home. When I yelled time out and pointed up at the window, they walked away. My friends didn't see it in time. I told them someone's upstairs, and I hurried towards the back door, telling my friends I'm just checking who's home. I went inside and called out my older sister's name and then my mom and dad. From downstairs, no one answered. So I went to the stairway that led from the den to the main floor, and I called up again. No answer. I heard creaking from all the way upstairs though, so I knew someone was home. But I also knew no one was supposed to be. So I went to the landline phone in the den office and called my mom. No response. I then called my dad. No response. I tried both phones again, and that failed again. I didn't even know my sister's cell phone, which I know was weird, but I never really had a reason to call her at that age. I didn't really know why no one was picking up. Maybe it was because my parents got home and set their phones down somewhere. So I went upstairs to the main floor of the house by the front door. I went to look out the front window, and sure enough, neither of my parents' cars were in the driveway. The last person that could be in the house was my sister, which I wondered why she would be in my parents' room. I called up my sister's name to the upstairs floor of the house. I heard footsteps once again, this time more clearly. They came from right upstairs, just around the wall. I believe it was at this moment that I said my sister's name one more time. I looked up the stairs, and I saw something at the top. There was a bare foot protruding out from behind the wall ever so slightly, pointing towards the stairs. It looked like a man's foot. Whoever it was hiding upstairs just around the corner. It wasn't anyone in my family. I walked down the stairs back to the den without making it obvious I was running. I then ran full speed for the office phone. Then I ran outside to my friends. I told them about the intruder in the house while frantically calling my mom and dad's numbers over and over. Finally, my mom picked up, sounding almost annoyed that I kept calling. But her annoyance was short-lived after I told her someone was in the house. She asked me why I was calling her and not the police, and she told me to hang up and call 911. As I did, Zook said, "Yo, look," and pointed at one of the upstairs rooms. This time it was my room. At the window was a person, once again no distinguishable features because of the sun glare. Only a second after I looked, they walked away from the window again. This entirely confirmed the nightmarish situation that was going on. I called 911, the first and only time in my life that I'd had to do that, and I nervously told them about the intruder. It felt like a pretty standard 911 call from what you'd expect. She told me to wait outside where we were with my friends, and that a car was being sent to the given address. It was a relatively fast response time. I guess that's Westchester for you. When there was a bang at the backyard gate, the person banging announced himself as a police officer, and he came out back. I told him to go inside because the intruder is upstairs somewhere. He hurried inside with his partner, and minutes later, they came back outside with a man handcuffed. Not just a normal-looking man. This man looked disheveled and high. He was half naked. He looked wobbly. Most importantly, he looked unstable and dangerous. He was slurring profanities at the cops. I called my mom again to tell her, and then put her on the phone with one of the cops.